Hello, hello.
Hi guys.
Concerning note and penny experiences? Okay. My camera's off kilter. Oh well. Went to the grocery store, got 76 worth of groceries, paid 100. They refused to accept it because it was a $100 bill. Did they like not have enough to make change?
That's gay.
Plenty of change, then they have to take it. They're not allowed to say no. Unless they can't make change for you, then they can't say no. I don't know that they're actually allowed to do that, because that's the whole point of the federally backed money, is that it's supposed to be honored everywhere.
Yeah. Places can't do that.
No, okay, no, they don't have to. I just looked it up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I thought it was, but it's not.
That's
Yeah, it's not a federal law. They're private businesses have the right to set their own payment policies.
stupid.
I agree. But what can you do?
I have never gone to a store and paid with $100 bill and not gotten change.
You went to your dump bank today to discard penny hunts. They refused to accept them. Lame. I've heard of banks refusing to accept them if they're not rolled. And then I've also heard of some banks refusing to accept them if they are rolled because they prefer to just pour them into their coin counter thingy. But I've never heard of a bank refusing them to accept them altogether. Yeah, that's just stupid. Pennies are all of the pennies that exist right now are all still monetized. They're not pulling the pennies out of circulation. They're all still for use. What bank do you go through?
suggestion is just take it to a different bank.
Some banks won't let you unless you have a bank account with them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
A local credit union.
I don't like credit unions.
Well, I mean, hey, if they have the coin dump machine, they shouldn't be able to say anything. You just dump them, hand them the receipt, and say, put this in my account. Or if you drink coffee, you do the Coinstar and get like the Starbucks thing or something. Hey, Richard. Because they have that whole thing where if you do the gift cards, then you don't get the fee. Yeah, you might want to try a regular bank, like a non-credit union, like a Chase or something.
Yeah.
'Cause we've always gone through Chase, and we have never had any issues with them. I need my micro. I have a new update today that might make some people happy.
I wouldn't be here.
We get a few more minutes. Hopefully we'll get some more folks up in here. We got 6 right now. So we'll give it like 4 minutes and then get the beginning stuffs out the way. I have noticed penny prices are already going up for the better ones. They're already starting to go up. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. Like Quasimodo. I always thought that was Alice Cooper. I do. That is going to be my big announcement today. And welcome, Walter. Good to have you. Oh yeah, prices are definitely. I still haven't gotten a 2025 penny all year. We have not seen a single one. So at least now you know where your Lincoln Cent collection stops. Mostly, they're not actually completely doing away with the pennies. That's actually
A misnomer.
a misnomer. They're doing away with circulated pennies. So at least for the foreseeable future, your mint sets and your proof sets and all that are still going to have pennies in them for future years. It's just going to be, they're all going to be NIFC. And because they're in the mint and proof sets, they'll be, you know, it'll only be the bronze. There won't be any more zinc pennies. You got 4 boxes of pennies. I've been thinking about that. I've been debating if I should go start getting some boxes of pennies every now and again. Try and get whatever good out of them I can while they're there. All right, let me get the beginning stuff out the way, and then we'll get this thing going. All right, for anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com. If you use Cash App, it will say Louis Kachera. That is me. You're in the right place. Also, as of tonight, we now officially have Venmo. So you can also do your payments via Venmo now at Cheapskate Coins. So we have that new payment method now. We have 3 payment methods now. All right, shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being without the exclamation points. It's just at Cheapskate Coins. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being a little purple bubble mailer, $23 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 on top of that. It is the only way you can insure your coins all the way through the mail. And keep in mind, if you have it sent registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. We do hold packages for anybody who wants to maximize your shipping so you can fill your package all the way up. Just let me know. And I always recommend shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, hold my package. Because if it flies by in chat when, you know, things get kind of hectic, then if we miss it, that's why I say always email me. And just a reminder for anybody who has your package held, it doesn't mean that you're obligated to have to fill it all the way up before you ship it. If you get tired of waiting and you just want your shinies, all you got to do is email me and say, hey, send me my stuff. And I will. If you're new, you can't get stuff tonight. You just have to email me by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get that email, you do not get anything, and we never ship without payment. Walter, if you're still on, you've already been backed up by Richard, so if you decide to get stuff tonight, you are not bound to buy the $50 first timer thing, because Richard has already let me know that you're a good person. All right, here's our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We do post our lot list on there every day we have a sale. You're very welcome. I hope you become a regular, man. Always nice to have new faces. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list a few days before every sale. Sometimes it'll be the day before if I'm like really busy that week or whatever. But as soon as you get the lot list in your email, you will have the ability to pre-purchase items. We do not charge right away for pre-purchases. We wait until the evening of the sale, and then we invoice everybody together. And then, of course, once I post the list on Facebook the day of the sale, anything that went on pre-sale has been removed. So what is on there is what is available. So yeah, so we have Venmo now. So just, if you're going to use that, let me know. That way I know. And I got to figure out how to use it. I've never used that one before. So I got to figure out how to do the, oh, all good. I know a lot of people don't do social media. If it wasn't for Cheapskate Coins, I wouldn't do social media. So I totally understand. Yeah, so I just got to figure out how to do the sending the payment requests on Venmo. I'll figure it out. No, they still do. They charge a fee. That's how they make their monies.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Walter, you are actually the reason I have Venmo now, because Richard emailed me and said, hey, I got a guy that's good, but he only uses Venmo. And I said, okay, I will get a Venmo. I am willing to help you guys out. Which has the best rate for money being taken out? Right as like I said, I've never used Venmo before, but as of right now, Cash App is actually takes the least. So just a note for next week. Next week, of course, is Thanksgiving. Normally, I would do the Black Friday stream, but I'm going to be unavailable that day. So next week, the sale is going to be on Saturday. So everybody keep that in mind. Same starting time, it's just going to be on a Saturday. So, all right. Forgot to put this on here. Give me 1 second. Oops. All right, just a quick thing for in case anybody needs some. I do still have some universal airtights in. 10 for $5. These are the ones that will hold anything from a dime to a silver eagle. I think I have like 7 bags left, something like that. Let me check. See the one under the camera, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 8 bags. I have 8 bags left. So 10 for $5. They of course have the cool little spacers that you can make them fit pretty much anything you want. They'll fit all but the biggest world coins. Anybody needs some airtights? If anybody wants like 4 or more bags, I'll give you a better price. If you get 4 or more bags, I'll do it for $4 a bag. There. Now it's in chat for you. 8 available. If you get 4 or more, it'll be $4 each. Are my initials LC on Venmo? Yes, sir. Louis Cachera. That is me. So, all right. Oh, Richard wants 4 bags. You got it, sir.
Congrats, Richard.
So that'll be 16 bucks. And then Walter's taking the other 4. Grat, sir. Walter, do you want packages held to maximize your shipping? Or are you the type that just wants your stuff shipped every time? I need to make you a card. I need a Walter card. Give me one sec, guys. I gotta make a new card. You found me. Walter Thibodeau. Oh. T-A-I-B-O-D-E-A-U. All right. Where did I put those? Yeah, you want to wait and let it fill up? All right. Sounds good, sir. All right. Out of airtights.
For a long time.
All right, next up, if anybody needs slab boxes. I still have 3 of the blue and 3 of the black from PCGS. They're 10 bucks each. Anybody needs slab boxes? I have 3 black and 3 blue. The H is silent, so Thibodeau. Anybody? If anybody wants 3 or more, I'll give you a deal on them. If you get 3 or more, I'll do them for $8.50 each. Keep in mind, if you do that, you're going to be in at least a medium box minimum. But of course, then we can, stash stuff inside of your slab box to fill the space up. They're definitely good for storage, that's for sure. So, all right, those are available if anybody wants them. Let me know. All All right, we are now on to banknotes. All right, the two 25-cent fractional military notes went in pre-sale, so the only one of those that we have left is we still have the 1946 Series 461 10-center. My camera's crooked. Let me fix that. That's annoying. Focus. There we go. This one's going for $8. For use only in United States military establishments. Anybody? All right, moving on to the 1943 1 lira World War II military payment certificate going for $3. These would be what our military guys used when they were stationed overseas on the other bases over there. All right, moving on. All right, next up, I have 3 of these available. One is uncirculated, 2 are not. 1957 $1 silver certificate. The uncirculated one is $5. That's this one. And then the 2 that are not uncirculated are $3 each. Richard, which one are you binning? Did you want the uncirculated one? Binning the Unk. You got it, sir. All right, anybody on the other 2? $3 each. It's kind of a cool serial number. 870727. All right, moving on. We are now into world banknotes. Kicking off world banknotes is a 1992 2 gourds from Haiti. Uncirculated note for $2. And going to Richard. All right, next up, I've got 2 of these available. These are 2022 200 rials from Cambodia, uncirculated notes. These, of course, are still spendable should you find yourself in Cambodia. They actually just had a tornado over there, which is like unheard of for that area of the world. I saw a video of it online. It was pretty crazy. And both going to Richard. Congrats, sir. All right, next up, we got a fractional note. This is a 1970 50-cent fractional from Jamaica. Go over $3. Ah.
You don't just drop it.
No, I almost knocked my drink over. All right, moving on. All right, and then the next one I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 available. These are 1922 marks from Germany. $3 each. If anybody wants all 4, I'll do it for $8. Gives you $4 off. And Richard's taking that deal. Congrats, sir. All right. Indeed, 4 for 8. All right, next up. 1981 50 pesos from Mexico. Going for $2. That's got the cool Mayan artwork on the back, which looks awesome. Anybody? All right, moving on. And the last banknote for tonight is the 1996 through 99 series 2 ringgit from Malaysia. Go over $2. Let me get this out of the way so you can actually see it. There we go. It's that guy with the impressive hat. And you got a tower, a satellite. Interesting mixture. Got the security things right there. All right, moving on. If anybody decides you want any more of those banknotes, let me know. We are now on to World Silver. And we are kicking off World Silver tonight with France. Starting off with 1965 francs. 83.5% silver AU. Let me get that a little closer. There, focus. Going for 28 bucks. Still got some nice luster going on. Looks like silver pretty much stabilized right around 50 bucks. So that means like for one of these, current melt value, let me see. It's 1965. Oops, not 1060. 1960. 5 francs. Current melt as of right this second on this coin is $16.03. And melt value for silver right now is $50, and I think it was like $50.01 or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, $50.01 right now. All right, moving on. All right, next up, I got 2 available. These are 1962 5 francs. Both AU and 28 bucks each. There is number 1. Again, these are 83.5% silver. Here is a number 2. Any takers? All right, moving on. All right, next up, I have 2 of these available as well, but one is an AU, one's a BU. These are the 1963s. AU is 28 bucks. BU is 35. So here is the AU. This is the $28 one. And here is the BU. Anybody? Man, slow night. We only got 4 people on right now. All right, moving on. All right, and then the last one, I also have 3 available. One is a BU, 2 are AUs. These are the 1964s. BU again is $35, and the 2 AUs are $28 each. And should anybody want all of these, I will give you guys a really good deal. That's a big bundle for all of them. So there's your BU. That's the $35 one. And here's AU number 1. Oh yeah, these things are beautiful. Camera is not doing these things justice at all. And this is the AU number 2. If anybody wants all of them, I will knock a flat $5 off each. So it'll be $40 off as a bundle. Last call on these. Then we are moving on. What would the total of the bundle be? Let me see real quick. Calculator. That would be... $28 times 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 28 times 6. Plus 70 minus 40. 198 would be the total for all of them. For the bundle deal. You got it, sir. Bundle deal going to Richard. So it makes all the 28s are now 23s. Both the 35s are now 30s. All right. Congrats, sir. Indeed. Richard is definitely one of our top guys, for sure. So I always try and be good and hook him up. All right, next up. We got one coin from Portugal. This is a 1933 2.5 escudos. 65% silver VG. Go for $10 to Walter. You got it, sir. Okay. There we go. Now let's turn right. There's your reverse. Congrats, sir. Yeah, Walter, if you're into World Silver, I probably sell more World Silver on this channel than any other channel on YouTube. I'm also, to my knowledge, one of the only YouTube channels that actually occasionally sells ancients. If that's down your alley at all. All right, next up. You have a buddy from Portugal. Nice. Next up, we are going to Britain. And we are kicking off Britain with a 1943 pence. 50% silver AU. Going for $5. Let me go scope on this one. This is a small coin. That way you can see better. There we go. It's a tiny little bit of wear on the cheek and the hair. That's it. That's a good looking coin. And only $5. All right, moving on. Next up, 1936 Florin. 50% silver, VF, $12. Anybody? All right, moving on. To the 1922 half crown. 50% silver in good, $12. These guys right now, let's see. Current melt on these guys, as of right this second, is $11.38. So this coin right now is going out for less than $1 over melt. At 62 cents over melt. Can't beat that. Come on. Hey, Zeke. We are currently on a 1922 half crown from Britain, and it is going out for 62 cents over melt. 12 bucks. All right, moving on. Not a lot of love for Britain coins lately. Next up, 1940 half crown. 50% silver. This one is an AU for 22. And takers. Help me unload some of this world silver so I can go get new stuff. I wasn't able to get any new world silver over the past couple of weeks. So this is all from our old stash, as I'm sure you can tell. All the American stuff's new, though. I mean, it's not super hard for me to get it, unless both of my guys are out of state at coin shows. Then not so much. Rick was out at Baltimore, and my other guy that I get World Silver from was at a show in, I think, like, California somewhere. Yeah, location has a lot to do with it. All right, moving on. Hey, Chew. Next up, 1941 AU, 18 bucks. Yeah, I'm more than happy to work out bundle deals on this stuff tonight just to help to offload it so I can go get some new. So do not be afraid to ask for bundle deals tonight on the World Silver. Hello, hello, RM. And nobody. That is a gorgeous coin for 18 bucks, guys. Come on. I only have one. And RM, you would have to email me before you can get stuff. You got to email me. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name. If you're going to use PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, and what email you use for those. So that way I can invoice you. We never ship without payment, and you cannot get anything until we get the email. I've sent to you before? Did you have a different channel name at the time?
I don't recognize the name.
I'm looking, hang on. I have a list of every person I've ever shipped to, so I'm looking at my address list right now. Yeah, I have no record of you, so I would need that email again.
The only way that it would have been yes is if he had a different channel name.
So, all right, right now we're moving on. What was that? That was the 41. All right, we are on to the 43. $19.43 half crown EF. This is going for 15. Anybody? Oh, I found you. Okay. RM, I found you. It was the R Scrubs M. Gotcha. All right. I found you.
Our scrubs.
Huh? Yeah, right here.
Oh.
So, all right. I will put you down for that 1941, sir. I just had to confirm it.
He just changed the name. Apparently.
Yeah, I think last time we saw him, it actually had it. The name actually said R Scrubs M. Now it's just RM.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I don't recognize that name.
If I had another one, I'd sell you another one. But I only have one. Where your scrubs go. That was the 41. That one. All right. Got it all figured out. Awesome. All right, moving on. All right, last one from Britain. 1946, half crown. 50% silver, VF, 14 bucks. And if anybody wants a bundle deal on all the remaining Britain, let me know. I'll do you a bundle deal for all of it. How much for all of it? Well, if you get all of it, I'll give you a couple bucks off the one you already got. So, let's see. Be 11 bucks off the top. So that would be the total for all of it would be, let me add it all together and subtract 11. $87 for all of it on a bundle. You got it? Going to RM for the bundle. You're on Cash App. Thank you for reminding me. I will make a note of that so I make sure that I send the Cash App request. And then I'd have to check the weight, but I think that might still be a $4 shipping or a $6 shipping as of right this second. Unless you pick up some old stuff. Let me check real quick. Oops. Yeah, as of right now, you'll have the $6 shipping. For another 3 ounces. Not done buying, keep presenting. Will do. right. Oop, forgot about that one. All right, next up. One coin from Uruguay. So I'm surprised nobody's gotten this yet, because we almost never get silver coins from Uruguay. 1942 20 centésimos. And this one's going to Doug. Congrats, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
All right. Oh, yeah, Doug's awesome.
Yep.
He's good people. All right, next up, Mexico. Yep, if you want something, just type bin. Indeed. Kicking off Mexico is a beautiful 1967 1 peso BU. 10% silver, $6. Starting to get a little bit of pretty toning on there. You do not often see these things looking this good. Normally, all of these are pretty much VFs. Because these were workhorse coins for them back in the day. Anybody? Wow, nobody. I thought sure somebody would want that. All right, moving on. All right, and then next up, I have 2 of these available tonight. Oh yeah, that's well under list for a BU, for sure. These are both 1977 100 pesos. Beautiful BUs, $38 each. 72% silver. Those are stunning. Oh, 1 peso is going to West Side. You got it, sir. Hey, Moose Socks. Got 1 going to RM. Anybody on the second? We got 1 left. In case anybody's curious, as of right this moment, Current melt value on these, just the melt value alone, as of right this second, $32.19. If anybody was curious. But all right, last call on this one. All right, moving on. That was the first. Yeah, that was the first coin that didn't sell. We were doing so well. All right, next up, Canada. Got 2 coins from Canada today. First up is 1917, 25 center. 925 sterling silver, VG tone, $10. And this one's going to Walter. Congrats, sir. By the way, Walter, if you let me know if you want to be on the mailing list to get the lot list every week. That's pretty much the only thing I use the mailing list for, is sending out the lot list. And then, like, if there's going to be a change in the schedule or something, I'll send out a notice about it. And then the other Canada is the 1967 Goose. BU, $35. Starting to get toned. Da Goose, 80% silver. All right, sounds good. And I'll put a note next to your one of your things here. Add to mailing list. Got it. Yeah, definitely make sure you email me your all your info. For sure. Ran across a 1975 20 Balboa at Melt. Nice. Now you have the 72 through the 75. Cool. All right, last call on the Goose. Yeah, I've got. Oh, here are these. I have 3 of the 74 sitting here right now. All right, moving on. Stiller again. Again. So the guy that owns them is getting ready to do a consignment sale with me, but I'm waiting for him to bring the rest of the stuff. I can sell them right now if anybody wants them. All right, last country, 429 on World Silver. Unless anybody wants to buy a giant 20 Balboa coin, is Switzerland. Kicking off with 1922 francs. 83.5% silver. Fine. 18 bucks. By the way, if anybody's never seen a Panama 20 Balboa coin, they are huge. And this one is going to RM. Kratza. And then the other 1933 5 francs. 83.5% silver, extremely fine, 18 bucks. It's got like a cool antique patina toning to it. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but the reverse actually still has some of the luster. That's a really nice coin. Anybody? All right, moving on. If you decide you want that later, let me know. Yeah, if anybody's never seen one, that is a 20 Balboa. Eh. These are 925 sterling silver. So this particular one, the melt value alone on this thing is $193. They are 3.8539 ounces of silver weight. The 74, which is the one you're looking at, had a mintage of 99,000. And a bunch of them have been melted down. These things are big. So 225 bucks each if anybody wants them. I've got 3 of them sitting here. They're $225 each. All right, we are getting into the U.S. coinage. So U.S. coins are where all the pre-sales this pretty much came from this sale. I know, and I answered him, see? All right, first off in the U.S., 1957 Lincoln Wheat Cent Gem Proof. Going for 28 bucks.
So he's putting it double.
No, he just asked how much it was. He never said he's getting it. He's under the scope. They'll look better. Anybody? This is how you take your wheat cent collection to the next level, is start doing the proofs.
If anybody's typing, give them a sec.
Yeah, so current list on this coin is roughly about 80 bucks. Give or take. Oh yeah, the old school ones. Yeah, those things are nice. All right, moving on. To the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Cent Gem Proof. So it's got right about the same list value as the other one. If anybody wants both of these, I'll do both of them for 44 bucks. It saves you $6. I don't know why it took my brain a second to do that math. So it makes them 22 bucks each if you get both. Anybody? Hey, how you doing, Kelly? Fun, fun. All right, moving on. If anybody decides you want those, let me know. All right, next up, we got some nickel proofs. The 1964 Lincoln proofs went in pre-sale. So we're now on to Jefferson nickel proofs. Starting off with the 1957 gem proof for $4. That's good. It's always annoying when your banking gets messed up. All right, moving on. To the 1958. Over $4. All right, moving on. All right, the next one, 1964s. I have two available. One is a proof cameo. The other one is just a gem proof. The cameo is $4. The gem proof is $3. So there's the cameo. Not enough for a decam, but it's definitely a cameo. So that's the $4 one. And then the gem proof, that's the $3 one. Anybody? If anybody wants all four, I'll do all four for $10. As a bundle. That makes them a flat $2.50 each. Okay. Anybody? Have a good sleep.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know how good it's gonna be.
Alright.
Tell with me.
I'm actually surprised nobody took that deal. I thought for sure somebody would. Alrighty, next up. I got one Mercury dime. It is a 1942 AU. Over $8. Oh, she had to go to bed. She had to get to bed for work. So she wanted a hug and a kiss. I'm not going to say no. That's how you end up sleeping on the floor. Anybody? Over $8. Good looking AU. All right, moving on. All right, next up we got some Roosevelt dime silver proofs. Kicking off with the 1957 proof cameo, over $8. 90% silver. All right, moving on. To the 1958 gem proof for $8. 90% silver. All right, moving on. All right, and the next one, I got two available. One is a gem proof, one's a proof decam. These are the 1964s. The gem proof is $6. The proof decam is $8. So this is the gem proof. This is the $6 one. And then here is the $8 one, the decam. Hey, Tamara. I think you're a new name. Welcome. If you have been here before and I don't remember, then welcome back. Oh, Doug's been in that old nickel deal. You got it, Doug. Nickels, dink. All right. 2.5. Ah. What's going on in today's video? Selling coins like I do every week. Right now we're on dimes. Silver proofs. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides you want any of those, let me know. Next up, we got some Washington quarter silver proofs. So the 57 and 58 went in pre-sale. So first one up, there's two available. These are 1964s. They're $15 each. Gem proofs. How much would it cost to get a whole box of coins? It depends on what they are. And how big of a box. And both of these going to Walter Gratzer. Also tomorrow, before you can get anything, you've got to email me, and I'd have to get it by the end of the night. Your email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, if you're going to use PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo to pay for your stuff, and what email you use for that payment method so I can invoice you. If I don't get that by the end of the night, you don't get anything. And I never ship without payment. Next up, I got 2 of these available. These are 1976S Gem BUs. These are the 40% silver coins. These are $8 each. Yeah, my email is right down there in the corner, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com. Anybody? All right, moving on. And then I've also got the Silver Proof 76S. Also for $8. If anybody wants all 3, I'll do all 3 for 18. Save you $6 if you get all 3. And Walter is taking that deal. Congrats, sir. All right. Next up, the 1893 Columbian Expo commemorative $50. All right, the RPD FS 301 went in pre-sale. If I would have had 3 of those, all 3 of them would have went in pre-sale. Speaking of which, by the way, Richard, so you can see it, I wanted to show it to you while we're live, real quick. Focus. It's that line above the 3. Yep, you bought it. You got it in pre-sale. That line above the 3 is the telltale designation of the FS 301 repunch date. You're welcome. But, all right. So the other 3 available are not the repunch date. Hey, Monkey King. But we have 1 that's in VG for $22. And then 2 that are AUs that are $35 each. These were the first commemorative $50 the U.S. ever produced. They did one for 1892 and one for 1893. Both with the exact same design. Only thing different was the date. Which one are you grabbing, RM? Are you grabbing the VG or one of the AUs? Here's one of the AUs. You want one of each? A BG or the VG and an AU? And then here's the other AU. Yep. All right. So one, the VG and one of the AUs is sold, which leaves one AU left. And the last AU going to Richard Gratzer. All right. All right, next up, I haven't had some of these in stock in a while. These are Franklin half dollars. 1957 Franklin Gem Proof. $35. Anybody? All right, moving on. And we've also got the 58. If anybody wants both, I'll do both for 60. Saves you $10 if you get both. Saving for an e-bike for work and fun. Very cool. Yeah, we have one of those and we have an electric scooter. But right now we have to get the e-bike into the shop because it's having a gear issue. It's what my wife used to get to work every day. Yeah, my wife uses a motorcycle helmet. All right, last call on the Franklins. $35 each or $60 for both. Anybody? All right, moving on. Well, I mean, you figure those things can get up, you know, like in the case of hers can get up to like 20, 25 miles an hour. So, yeah, if you crash at that speed, you can definitely get messed up. All right, the two 1964 Kennedys went in pre-sale. So we are on to the 40% silver Kennedys. I've got one proof cameo at $12, and then there's also two BUs at $12 each. So there's the proof. And then BU number 1. And BU number 2. If anybody wants all 3, I'll do all 3 for 30. Saves you $6 if you get all 3. %40 silver. Current melt on these right now for the 40%ers is $7.40 just in melt. And then $half right now, the 90% silver $half are $18.10. Now, nobody on these. That's actually surprising. All right, moving on. All right, last 3 lots of the list. 40% silver Ikes. So these are all $22 each. I've got 1 proof and 2 BUs. There's the proof decam. There's BU number 1. And BU number 2. Anybody? $22 each. I cannot lower the prices on these. I can't do a bundle or anything. That's already my break-even price on those. All right, I'm going to start the recap. I've still got the PCGS slab boxes if anybody wanted any of those. I've got 3 of the blues, 3 of the blacks. They're $10 each. And then I said if I do a deal on them, if anybody wants 3 or more, I'd make them $8 a piece if you want 3 or more. Thank you, sir. So, and if anybody wants the slab boxes, let me know. Banknotes. For the U.S. banknotes, I still have the 1946 Series 461 10-cent military note. It's $8. I still have the 1943 1 lira World War II payment certificate for the military certificate at $3. And I have the 2 1957 1 silver dollar notes at $3 each. Anybody on the American notes? And Walter, don't forget to get me that email before the end of the night or you don't get anything. Rules are rules. Both silver notes going to Kelly. And just in case anybody missed them, there's the World War II military note, 1 lira. And then there is the 10-cent fractional military payment certificate, 1946. World banknotes, I've got still available the 1970 50-cent Jamaica at $3. The 1981 50 peso Mexico at $2. And the 1996 through 99 2 ringgit Malaysia for $2. Anybody on those? There's the Jamaica, Mexico, and the Malaysia. All right. And then world silver, there's only 3 world silver coins still available. This one is the 1933 5 franc Switzerland EF. $18. The 1967 Canada Goose Dollar. BU toned. $35. And the 100 peso Mexico BU. 72% silver. $38. Anybody on those? All right. And then American coins. Still available. I've got the 1958 or 1957 and 58 Lincoln cent proofs. Those are Lincoln wheat cents. They're $25 each or $44 for both. The 1942 Mercury dime AU is still available. All 4 of the Roosevelt silver proofs are still available. That's 1957, 58, and then there's 2 1964s. One's a gem proof, one's a proof decam. Both the Franklin half dollars are still available. 1957 and 58 gem proofs. $35 each or $60 for both. All 3 of the 40% Kennedy half dollars are still available. Those are the 40% silvers. One's a proof cameo. The other 2 are gem BUs. $12 each or $30 for all 3. And then the 3 Ikes that you just saw. So last call on everything. Oop, those are Doug's. Oh, I forgot to put those on Doug's. Anything else for anybody else? Yep, next week is Saturday, not Friday. I am unavailable next Friday. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here then. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for coming out. Nice to see some new faces. For our new folks, make sure you get me those emails. As always, give me a bit to get all the invoices sent out. And I will see everybody next week. I hope everybody has a fantastic Thanksgiving. And everybody have a great week.